Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, a broker-dealer member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Houston First Financial Group are not affiliated.
Welcome to Money Matters with Chris Hensley, where we spotlight financial literacy issues in the Houston community and beyond. And now your host, Chris Hensley.
We get wrong is we take it personally. It's not, your partner doesn't want to be going through this and feeling the way that they do. And if something happens, you always take it on the ones closest to you, the ones that you love, because they're the ones that are there. And we take it personally, and it's about learning that it's a fine line and a fine balance of how to judge when to do something. It sounds weird, but it could be as simple as you come down in the morning, you could feel there's a sense, something there, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to have my breakfast in a different room because my crunching might annoy my partner. Just at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Today, we have with us Sam Anderson. Now, Sam Anderson is a lecturer from Scottish Borders who found himself thrown into the reality of perimenopause when his partner began experiencing symptoms no one had prepared them for. Frustrated by the lack of honest, real-world guidance, especially for partners, Sam wrote Perimenopause, the A to Z Guide for Us Idiots. This book blends humor, blunt honesty, and lived experience to help partners understand what's really happening behind the mood swings, anxiety, brain fog, and emotional shifts that often go unexplained. Rather than offering clinical advice, Sam focuses on what it actually feels like to live through it as a couple, giving readers practical insight from how to support, communicate, and stay connected during one of the most misunderstood phases of women's lives. His work is part survival guide, part reality check, and a much-needed voice for partners trying to get it right.
Thanks for that invite.
Sam, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Well, this is a great topic. I can tell you I'm going to set this up this way. I mentioned to my wife that I was having Sam on to talk about this topic and that he uses humor to talk about it. And she looked dead in my eyes, through me, and said, "There's nothing funny about this topic."
Yeah. I've had
so we can start with that.
A colleague at work got the book and he took it home, and his partner did the same. She went, "I'm reading it first. You better not be taking." Can I swear? You better not be taking the piss.
Yeah.
We woke up in the morning and there was page markers on each different words that you had to learn.
That is funny. So let's just dive right into it. You say in the book that no one prepares couples for this. What caught you most off guard?
For me, as I think men in general are overthinkers when you're with your partner, and it was overthinking. What have I done? What's happening? But also that my partner wasn't sure as well. I think for her, the brain fog was the biggest. The new sensation that she had, she was always, she knew dates, times, she didn't forget things. And this just started happening and she was getting worried. But then it was also sort of alone time, sort of the wee bits of rage coming in, just for no apparent reason, just sort of things that sort of like TV would make a noise over the dishwasher and, she would kick off and it would something happening here. It wasn't bad, but you're just going, right, okay, she needs quiet time. Why? Is it me? Have I done something? What? Constantly ask if I've done something that annoys somebody even more. Yeah. So that was the big key there. And my partner was new to it as well, going through it. Luckily for me, she's a really good communicator and was talking about it to me, and she mentioned perimenopause. I never felt it. Did you mention it before?
We're definitely entering new territory here, right? I'm 51, so this is we're
I'm
in Act
50 this
2
year as well.
So this
it's all new, but I never
very
heard
good
of it.
topic.
Then, luckily for me, a lecturer at a college in Scotland, they were offering to become a menopause champion, and I was like, so I I contacted my human resource department and asked them if it was okay for a male to do this. It's sort of uncommon, and I was the second male in Scotland to do this training. They were like, okay, we'll find out. Managed to do the training, and it just opened up a different way of thinking. It gave me more an insight into what was happening, but also my partner, but also female colleagues at work, friends, family. It just opened it up. And then when you start looking at it online, it's all science and chemicals, and it's too in depth. It's too much detail that we don't. You need if you're interested, but you just want to know what these symptoms are. Instagram's great for it. So my Instagram account's golf, kettlebells, and perimenopause women. It's massive.
Wow,
But
that's
again,
a
it was
broad
just-
range.
I just wanted to try and make some notes down, and that ended up becoming a bigger notepad. Then I was like, I got interviewed for my work about being the menopause champion, and I sort of said, "Oh, I'm thinking of writing a book," and this then tangent off to me actually needing to go and write a book because I'd said I was writing a book, so I did. But again, I wanted it to be, it was open for men to just understand, using a bit of humour. I think for men, it's easier if we use a bit of humour it's educational and informative, but the wee humour side, I swear, I use the words that guys use in the pub. It's like talking to a friend when you're going for a beer, basically. Short snippets for each word, where you could be lying in bed and your partner says, I felt like I was having an electric shocks today. There's electric shocks in the book. You don't laugh it off and you go, oh, but you go to the book and like electric shocks. She can get these sensations due to the chemicals in her body changing. It's been a really interesting journey, and it's sort of, I've really enjoyed it. It's been good. It's been sort of eye-opening, but it's led to a sort of different way of working, but also relationship with my partner's got even closer, which is good for that. Yeah.
I mean, there's a vacuum of information out there on these topics to begin with, and then as a partner, I found you on the group Facebook, menopause, perimenopause support for partners, and I was out there looking for resources, and there wasn't any. So that this is, this book is it's good information. It's timely for couples to communicate about this stuff. Let me ask you, before writing the book, what were you getting completely wrong
the biggest
as
thing
a partner?
we get wrong is we take it personally. It's not, your partner doesn't want to be going through this and feeling the way that they do. And if something happens, you always take it on the ones closest to you, the ones that you love, because they're the ones that are there. And we take it personally, and it's about learning that it's a fine line and fine balance of how to judge when to do something. It sounds weird, but it could be as simple as you come down in the morning, you could feel there's a sense, something there, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to have my breakfast in a different room because my crunching might annoy my partner. Just at that time. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Yeah,
true,
but
yes.
it is that, and again, I'm lucky because my partner, she doesn't, as people have said, the book's all about her. The book isn't all about her. She's maybe only had 10% of these symptoms, but she encouraged me to push through and just to say, go for it, write a book. Because the other morning she came down and she was like, my knees are really sore. J for joint pain, it's in the book. She'd never had that before, but it was in the book. So it's there. It's just something that comes and goes with the chemicals moving about the body. Yeah.
As I read through the book, I mean, that was something notable, is that at this experience, everybody's symptoms could be different. Like there's a whole list of symptoms that they could be going through. You talk about something called the hormonal hurricane. What does that actually look like day to day?
It changes. It could be calm. It could be quiet. Some days it could be cleaning the house top to bottom to feel better. It varies. It depends on how your partner's feeling that day. They may have a lot of energy, but again, it might be that energy is then they just crash. So they're high, they're doing all the chores. You're trying to, again, it's another thing. It's what we often try to do is fix it. We don't need to fix things. We just need to try and support as a guy. And it's like saying, do you need a hand? No. Don't go, are you sure? If they say no, well, fine. Okay. It's just about learning that behaviour as well. But the hormonal hurricane, it varies. It's like a twister, I suppose, eh? But yeah, it's a weird one.
What are some of the biggest myths men or partners believe about
But
perimenopause?
HRT cures it all, I would say. My partner isn't using HRT.
Yeah.
She's not ruling it out, but she's wanting to try and go as long as she can without it, at least. A few of our friends have used HRT, and again, there's mixed. What am I saying? There's mixed feedback on it. It works, it doesn't work. And I think that's the biggest thing that we read about now is HRT, and it's like you need to go on HRT. I don't think you do. I think it's down to the individual, and again, different coping strategies that you can use to try and get through this time. Because it's not a short time; it could last 10 years. So it's a long time to try and to go through it. Yeah, but that's. I also think it was about the biggest myths that you have all the symptoms.
Yeah.
But the symptoms can come and go. There might be a week where you don't have any at all. Then other weeks it's just you're crashed or your partner's crashed. Then they could change. The symptoms could change weekly as well. As I said earlier, the joint pain. My partner had never had sore joints, and she came down and she was just like, she goes to the gym, but she was just like, oh, my knees. I wasn't at the gym, but I was just like, it could just be the joint pain. You don't know, but that's what you could try and rule it out with what's in the book.
There's two different ways to look at it. There's the physical symptoms, and then there's the emotional and the relationship impact there. How much of this is physical symptoms versus emotional relationship impact?
I'm not a doctor, but I would say possibly. I think again, it swings. It depends what's happening that day, because sometimes it could be the brain fog, the mental side. If your partner's had a day at work where they're usually confident, in control at work, and they've forgotten something or something's happened, that mental side, when they come home, has knocked them off. So when they come back from work, then you're maybe asking questions about how their days went, how they're feeling. They don't need that over stimulation or conversation. They just want quiet space. So that's both physical and mental, I would say, that they are. The physical side, again, I think it depends on the individual. It's hard to say because, as we said at the start, everybody's different. It's so massive. When you look into it, it's scary.
And what I did read from the book was that women will go to their doctor and they will report symptoms, and that the doctors will come back and say, well, we blood tested and you're fine.
That seems to be an occurrence, because I think there's more. And at the back of the book, there's a symptoms checker that I got when I done my training, and we ticked, and you're like going, it's definitely perimenopause, but the doctor just wouldn't recognise it because of the age of my partner. And again, you talk to other women, they've had the similar situation. So bloods don't always come back correct. Or I don't think there's an understanding of perimenopause yet, or menopause. We're getting better. And obviously, we're both on LinkedIn. Yeah. And now that my book's out, my LinkedIn's became more contacts with menopause, perimenopause. And it's great because people are getting in touch, especially for getting men to talk about it as well, which is good.
I love it. Just having the dialogue and the conversation, that's how we get attention pointed at stuff. So I think that's fantastic. I do want to talk about the relationship side, the relationship impact. How does perimenopause change communication inside a relationship?
From the Facebook group that we're on, it sounds like a lot of men are having problems with that side. And it could be that men don't like to talk or they miscommunicate, but it could also be the partner side as well, the female that's possibly not able to communicate how they're actually feeling because they don't know. So that then the relationship could struggle there. Again, I'm lucky. My partner is open with communication, There are some days where she's quiet. There are some days where she'll chat away. But that doesn't affect our relationship because we have that relationship where we understand each other now. So I know where and when, whereas before we'd looked into it and go, what have I done? Because there was no communication. She wanted to go to her bed early. She needed an early night. She needed quiet space. But that's all to do with perimenopause. And it's about understanding that. And again, sort of for relationships, it could be that you've planned an out in, you're going out to an event, then the symptoms just kick in and you might have to go yourself. And it's nothing to do with you. It's about your partner actually saying, you know what, it's better if you go yourself rather than me coming along and sort of not feeling it. Yeah. It's weird. It's all the Instagram's great.
Yeah. I hear a lot of listening and being patient and you know, men we're horrible at trying to fix everything. In fact, that's one of the things you talk about. What mistakes do partners make when they often try to give
solutions
things?
where your partner doesn't want a solution? She would rather do it herself, but in her own time rather than us taking over or taking charge or constantly sort of saying, we'll get it, we'll do this, or do you need a hand? I'm fine. Just give me space, give me time. I'll get it done when I'm ready. It's difficult. Again, it's hard. I've wrote about some of the things, but I've not actually had to deal with them yet. But we're prepared for it because of
You've got a resource and a manual now. When you go down that road, for listeners, if you're listening, I'm going to include a link in the podcast notes here, so you don't have to stop driving and write it down. But how do they get it available?
It's worldwide on Amazon. So for your listeners, it'll be Amazon.com. There's a link there. It's electronic or paperback. The paperback side, I would say, is best because I've left blank pages for your own notes for maybe words that aren't in the book that you could add, or you can write down triggers next to sort of certain parts, which it was more like it's a dictionary but a notebook as well, just so that you can put your own notes in as well and have different words. But again, it's worked well with couples reading the book together. It's opened up conversation, which has been really good. The feedback on Amazon is a new author, if I'm called that, I don't know. But I've had 16 5-star reviews in 2 weeks, which, and it's been
nice.
There's one in Australia, 2 in USA, and the rest were UK. And it's good. It's guys wishing they'd had this before. A couple of guys have got it now, and their partners are reading it. And obviously, people at work we've got a couple at work, and we're working with the NHS in the UK, and they're looking at they've given great feedback about how the book could be used in the workplace as well as a tool to open up discussions when they're training other people to become menopause champions, because it's a tool to raise awareness during training sessions and discussions because of the language it uses. It demystifies the topic and can encourage staff to talk about it. So it's been good. We don't want science. We want to know what it is. Yeah. Right. If you're a doctor and you want your stats, okay, fine. But for us guys, when I was writing it, I tried to limit each word to 150 to 200 words. So it's just a dictionary. You just pick it up. You don't have to read it cover to cover. It's just, you find the word and you think, okay. What's the one that we used? Impact and irritability. Those were the two ones which people quite sort of the impact, because it impacts the whole house, your work, everything. Just about that. But then irritability, that irritability is going to be us. We are going to be that irritability, and it's just about how we deal with that. And again, as we said at the start, your partner doesn't mean it. It's about that, and it's about having communication. The big thing that I found with communication was the timing. If something happens and you have a disagreement, you wait to the right time to discuss it. You don't do it there and then, or and sort of poke the fire even more. You just hold back and just leave it. That was the big thing. It was quite.
What does real support actually look like? Not the Hollywood version. As a partner showing up, what does that look like?
Listen without solving. Don't take things personally. I think small actions. If your partner says it's too hot, go no, just open the door, open the window. If she's cold, get a blanket. It's the easy fixes that support, rather than, I know we're saying no, don't fix it, but it's the small actions, and it's patience. Patience is a huge thing on both sides. Yeah. And again, the takeaway from the book is don't take it personally. Every time I reply on a Facebook group, I always finish with the hardest thing to do is not take it personally.
I love that. There are a lot of, being a male that is fairly informed, that group, there's a lot of guys. This is going to be very helpful in there. So I love it. I love it. Some of the things you just shared with us are some of those easy things. I think, as men, we're looking for this big dramatic fix, something that's going to fix everything. And what I'm hearing from you is just the small stuff.
Walking out the room. But it's making sure that your partner knows that you've not fell out with them, but you're just giving them space that they need. Yeah. I think it's making sure that your partner sort of.
I love it.
Feels supported rather than alone, because it must be terrifying.
Love it. We are, Sam, we're right here bumping towards the end of the show. What have I forgot to ask you that you'd like to share with listeners?
I think it's just about getting men to talk more. I think men need to discuss it more and be open about it. And what was somebody said to me? If I try to speak to my partner about it, they get the ick. I don't know what that if that's but it's about them not. There's nothing wrong with talking about it or your feelings and how your partner is. It's about it's being open. I think that's the whole thing. It's if you could speak to if the book could do anything, and I think from some of the feedback I have, it's got one message I got on Messenger from it was someone from the group, but they didn't have their name. You've made me start liking my wife again. That was quite good. Just
hey, if you did that with a book, that's awesome.
But I says, how? He's just like, you've just explained that a couple of things. You only looked at a couple of points, and it was just like, yeah, I've done that. Shh, I need to change that. And it's just about those wee bits, and it's about that your partner doesn't know what's going to happen either. And if they don't, we don't. So it's about trying to go through it and learn it together, isn't it? And I think that's the big thing that my work are trying to push as well, and other workforces. It's a work. It needs to be discussed everywhere, because it affects not just your partner at home. It affects with family, friends, at work, culture, all that. It's just going through the whole lot. So yeah, it's just the more we talk, the better. I have came up with an idea though. I was working with the NHS, and they do a menopause cafe, and online, or they do a real one. So you meet at a cafe, and I actually went to one. It was 4 women and myself, and they chatted away, and they were like, "Guy here," which was good, and we got a chat going. But I've thought about one, just a men's only one, but calling it the Perry Pint. Yeah. Well, basically,
that I would drink.
It's about on a Friday now. I go for a beer at my local pub. And guys are talking to me about perimenopause. When's that ever going to happen before? Just because it's like, well, they're like going, and it's about realising that, you're not moaning about your partner. You're trying to find out more information to help support them. Yeah,
absolutely. And this is a universal thing, and something that needs to be talked about more. So I love it, Sam. Thank you so much for being on the show. The book, Perimenopause, the A to Z Guide for you, for us idiots. And this is available on Amazon. Sam, I shared with you, I'm going through that same experience. I'm putting a book out this week. So I encourage listeners, if you get the book,
Yeah.
leave those reviews there because that's important right there at the beginning. I know I'm going to go back and hit the reviews there. Sam,
You
thank
too.
you
Thank you
so
very
much
much.
for being on the show. Have a good day.